The race for the Eastern Conference crown has come down to the final weekend, and Nashville Soccer Club is still in it. A city's conference title hopes hang in the balance next at First Tennessee Park. Nashville, Atlanta. We fire it up next. It is game night for Nashville Soccer Club, and this is where their grueling 225-day regular season will end. Under these lights in rainy Germantown, under the eyes of an entire league, hopes of a conference title swirling at First Tennessee Park, as it's the boys in gold of Nashville meeting the boys from Georgia and Atlanta United too. Come on up to our broadcast booth here at First Tennessee Park. John Freeman, Ronnie Woodard, and the formula tonight is simple. Nashville needs a win or a draw tonight to put pressure on Pittsburgh, who faces Birmingham tomorrow. If Pittsburgh cannot match Nashville's result tonight, city behind us has its first conference title.
Absolutely. And let's go down memory lane for a second. 1 year ago, about this time, Nashville was biting and scratching to get into the postseason play. Now, fast forward, here we are, mid-October. They've got a run for the Golden Glove and Matt Pickens. Daniel Rios is top of the league with goals. And Lebo Moloto is top of the league in assists. And Nashville Soccer Club is playing for a championship on the East in the USL this year. They've got to take care of business tonight, get their 3 points, and move on. And they have to put that pressure on Pittsburgh going to the game against Birmingham tomorrow.
We'll have the call for you tonight. Down on the field is our Kelly Glendenning.
Thanks, John. You guys will not see head coach Gary Smith down on the sideline tonight. He is serving a 1-game suspension after being ejected last match against North Carolina, but filling in for him is assistant Brett Jacobs. And I spoke with him before the match about the magnitude of tonight's game. Here's what he said.
It's everything. There can be nothing but 3 points. And the really tricky part is we have to stay focused on tonight. You know, it's really easy to look into the playoffs and beyond the end of the regular season, and you know that will be to our own detriment. We have to stay focused on the process of what this game is all about and how we go through, you know, managing the game, getting off to a really, really good start, and just being really responsible with how we play.
Now, Nashville will have to wait for Pittsburgh to play Birmingham tomorrow. That game is at 4:30 p.m. Central Time, and that will decide the fate of Nashville's final placement. John?
Thank you, Kelly. Just 90 minutes remain in the regular season for Nashville and Atlanta. Late in the season, will there be more late drama in store for those supporters in Middle Tennessee? We kick things off next from First Tennessee Park. First Tennessee Park, ready for the final USL regular season match in club history. Next week, the fans will be back in the stadium for the first home playoff match in club history. Let's examine the lineups. We will begin with the home side, who is unchanged from last weekend. In the 4-2-3-1 formation, Matt Pickens is on the brink of winning the league's Golden Glove. Meanwhile, midfielder Lebo Maloto, the team's leading architect with 10 assists.
Lebo Maloto is the prolific and entertaining central midfielder that can dazzle you with his trickery and has the ability to strike balls from distance.
For the 29-year-old South African, he is tied with Leo Fernandez for the lead in the Eastern Conference in total assists. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roadside as a collective. They have 10 more yellow cards than any team in the United States Soccer Pyramid, that is. The consequences of their belligerence is a lineup altered by 3 suspensions. That means heavy lifting for Captain Jack Metcalf.
Well, and one thing that's always going to be constant for ATL2 is Captain Jack Metcalf. He's been constant in the lineup. He's technically solid. He's hardworking. He's got great leadership skills, and he provides quality services from that right side of the field.
Atlanta United 2's lineup averaging less than 19 years of age across all 11 in the lineup. It is the senior statesman, Jack Metcalf, who captains the squad tonight. And so we have reached the end before a new beginning. The final weekend of a regular season that still covets a champion. Either Nashville stays in the title race tonight at home, or Pittsburgh wins it in their Birmingham hotel rooms. The task is simple. Finish the match at the top of the table and require the Riverhounds to rip the conference crown from their golden grasp. Underway at First Tennessee Park, and with the opening whistle, Nashville immediately placed at the top of the live table. The home side head to toe in gold tonight, the visitors in their recognizable red and black stripes. Let's browse the Vanderbilt Health Injury Report. Michael Reed continues to rehab from ankle surgery, will be out for the remainder of the season. Meanwhile, Ken Tribbett's name remains on the list for another week as he recovers from a leg injury, and right off the bat, fangs out from Atlanta. It's Luis Fernando making the visitors' intentions known.
Wow, 30 seconds into the game. Look at this touch to the left side. Gets himself composed, makes Matt Pickens have to leave his feet. We're talking 45 seconds into this game, and here comes Atlanta streaming down the sideline. Nashville's going to have to pay attention to early details.
It's Fernando, who played here last year as a member of the Richmond Kickers before being signed to Atlanta United 2, and then actually signed a senior team deal about halfway through this season for Atlanta United. Ball thrown back into traffic towards Patrick Okonkwo, who was offside. Okonkwo, 21-year-old Nigerian, coming up through the Atlanta United Academy. 48 goals for the Atlanta United Academy. Officiating tonight, Alejandro Mariscal, one of the 4 Mariscal siblings who are professional referees. Alejandro oversees these teams just the 2nd time this season each. 1 straight red in 14 matches for Mariscal. That is well below the league average. Nashville's first foray forward. It's with Ropapa Mensah. Squaring up Kisiadu. And Kisiadu hacking the legs of Mensah. It'll be a set piece for Nashville.
That's just an unnecessary foul. Ropapa Mensah's facing the sidelines. He's got his back to the field. Kisiadu just loses his patience. Well done by Ropapa Mensah. This is a very dangerous space, especially with the size difference that Nashville has over Atlanta.
Just 1 starter for Atlanta United 2, above 6 feet tall. Look at the size difference in the box, including the 6'6" Forrest Lasso, 33 in goal. Alejandro Mariscal says, hold on, gotta wait for my whistle. Steering committee of Justin Davis and Lebo Maloto. Comes in from Davis, headed down and wide. Palm thrust to the earth from Ropapa Mensah. Nashville's first good look on Frank.
Well, and Nashville has a choice. They can serve left-footed or right-footed. They chose the in-swinger by Justin Davis. Look at Ropapa-Mensah. Just gets a little bit under it. Timing's a little bit off. Just grazes the top of his head. The unfortunate part is I think Forrest Lasso was right in behind that space.
More neat combination work from the visitors. This time it's Guillermo Benitez down the far side. Now, do not be fooled and exchange what you think is youth for lack of talent. This is a very, very good young team. I mean, you're looking at Benitez, who's Panamanian fullback, started for the Panamanian national team in a friendly with the United States all the way back in January. And there are several Nashville coaches and staff that breathed a sigh of relief when they saw that Andrew Carlton was not in the lineup tonight or in the 18. Same can be said for Kevin Kratz, along with Mikey Ambrose, a couple guys on Major League Soccer contracts who are not here tonight for ATL UTD 2. Booming ball from Forrest Lasso, seeking out Mensah, easily downloaded. LaGrassa wide for Mensah. Auditioning the outside back, Benitez. Stands tall and turns away the Ghanaian. Rolled in towards Mensah. It's off an Atlanta player. It'll be our first Coca-Cola corner kick of the night. Hey fans, keep up to date with us all season long. Follow our journey to Major League Soccer at NashvilleSC.com. This is right off the training ground. Melodo puts it into a good spot. Turned towards Mensah. Slammed away by Barajas. Reinserted by King. LaGrassa. Touch towards the inline. Floated in the direction of Lasso. Calmly claimed by Dylan Castanera.
So because of this size difference today, Nashville's obviously had conversations and done their homework on Atlanta, and they have clear inches of height advantage. So I think you're going to see quite a few balls getting played into the box. You're going to see them playing a bit for corner kicks and set pieces because they do have such a height advantage in this situation.
Again, high pressure from Matt LaGrassa yielding results. LaGrassa continuing forward. Early entry cut out by Metcalf. There it is, Ronnie. The age difference. Matt Pickens, the Nashville goalkeeper, more than double the age of 3 players on this Atlanta team in their starting 11.
I don't even want to tell you how much older I am than they are. But, you know, as we've talked about in other broadcasts, watching the youth participate and play against grown men, it is such a joy to be able to watch their development happen right in front of our eyes. And tonight's no different, with the average age being 18 years old on the field. You know, that leaves a really big role for players like Metcalf to have to be a really good leader and imagine the type of skills that they're learning every single day.
Coca-Cola corner kick, Lebo Melodo. Curled in towards Lasso, off of LaGrassa. Nashville buzzing out of the gates. This is an Atlanta United team that has the second longest unbeaten streak in the entire USL, East and West combined. A late season surge for the visitors tonight. If you were to take just the last 15 matches that this Atlanta team has played and compare it with the 15 matches played by everybody else, they would be a playoff team.
Well, and they're filled with talent. We've seen that. And for them to accomplish what they're accomplishing this late in the season is just speaking volumes to the development that's occurring in that program.
An Atlanta team that in the last 5 weeks has taken points away from Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and a win against Indy 11. Some results that will certainly raise your eyebrows. and some results that have helped Nashville in this title quest. It's Patrick Okonkwo who's down. Play continues around him. Okonkwo is grabbing his head. Alejandro Mariscal has the right to stop the play here, and he's done just that. And Atlanta United, too, only warmed up 2 outfield players that were not in the starting 11. Have a backup goalkeeper tonight in Paul Christensen, and then only 2 other options to come in if Okonkwo were to exit. Bienveni Kanakimana is one option, and then Jordan Matthews, a 17-year-old who's only played 1 match this season, is the other option. Look how empty the bench is behind Stephen Glass. The 43-year-old Scottish manager appointed during the offseason after a spell as the academy coach in Atlanta. His playing experience came in the English Premier League. Once scored a goal against Manchester United while he was a member of Newcastle.
It's a big day when Newcastle scores against Manchester United. You know that, right? It's a big day. Doesn't happen every year.
We go way back into the history books. Nashville's actually employed a player that scored for Newcastle against Manchester United. That was David Edgar.
There you go.
Last year, in his brief month or so that he spent in goal. Well, speaking of coaches, Nashville led by Brett Jacobs tonight, who controls the team, while Gary Smith serves a 1-match touchline ban after being ejected in Saturday's win over North Carolina FC. Jacobs was an assistant under Gary Smith in Colorado when the club won its only MLS Cup. Was most recently a head coach for a professional team in Gibraltar. Here's Mensah. Melodo. Cut out by Will Riley. Normally, she's standing right next to Gary Smith on the sidelines, patrolling them. Tonight, standing next to Brett Jacobs, it's our Kelly Glendenning. What do you have for us, Kelly?
Yeah, John, it's a little bit of a different view down here tonight. And before the game, I did speak with Brett Jacobs about tonight's role, and he said it's actually not his first time being in this position with Gary Smith, and that they actually had this happen with the Colorado Rapids against Metapan, and they won that game when Brett Jacobs was filling in as coach. He also mentioned that it will be very important tonight that the leaders and the veterans on this team really step up in that role. And he also says if the players don't know their position and what they're supposed to do tonight by now, well, they're just out of luck. So he's really putting a lot of faith in tonight's team to step up and be their own coaches in a way.
An interesting story Kelly's telling about the Colorado Rapids trip to Metapan, which is a team in El Salvador, the top team in El Salvador. It came way back in CONCACAF Champions League action, in which Colorado earned the right into that competition by winning the MLS Cup. Gary Smith sent Brett Jacobs and assistant Steve Guppy to that match in El Salvador, and Gary Smith actually stayed behind to tend to what he called the A team that was playing a major MLS match that weekend. Nobody thought the Rapids would win it. And Brett Jacobs, after driving 4 hours through a jungle in an armored car to get to the match. No joke, this is the story. The team also left its shoes at the hotel. Metapan gave them shoes to get them through a half, and then they got their shoes at halftime from the hotel and still managed to win that game with Brett Jacobs as manager.
Well, several themes come to mind. One, Brett Jacobs more than capable of leading a team. And 2, had the ability to overcome adversity as a coach, right? He's stepping up there and he's in challenge. And what are the one things that you need to be able to participate in the sport of soccer? You need your boots. And so, you know, true credit to him. He's no rookie. You know, Coach Gary Smith brought him in here knowing exactly what he was getting.
Here's a turnover, and bearing down is Ropampa Mensah, driving right at Metcalf, trying to touch it around the captain. In the end, out for a Atlanta goal kick.
And here he is. He's faced up. I think he just had a little bit of an errant touch. He got stuck under his foot, a little bit too big. Cut into the sideline. Metcalf does a really nice job of standing Ropampa up. Rapapa might be able to catch some of the younger players today with his sheer athleticism, but Metcalf is seasoned. And although we're seeing him in a different role today, we're seeing him as a central role, and a central defender role today, which is not something he's been doing throughout the year.
Darnell King starting for the 9th straight time. Still yet to score his first goal for Nashville SC. Mensah. It's been one-way traffic down that far side. Full stretch tackle from Akinyoti. Drawing the ire of Alejandro Mariscal, who perhaps did not like some of the vocal protests coming from the Atlanta bench and Stephen Glass.
It's pretty early in the match to be having this type of conversation, 14 minutes in.
It was Glass who was taking exception to the outstretched challenge of Akinyoti. I'd like to think Atlanta, with their youth and their lack of size, would like to avoid any sort of confrontational match.
Oh, without a doubt. They definitely don't want to turn this into a physicality battle today.
Fans see the latest team content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at our handle, Nashville SC. Here's Garrison Tubbs, 17-year-old. Made his pro debut in July. 5 appearances this year. 4 of them have been losses.
That's a big job for a youngster like Tubbs. He's sitting into the center of the back, playing with Atlanta, up against Daniel Rios, who is potentially, you know, the golden boot of the Eastern Conference in the USL this year. And it's just a big challenge that he's put under. And just think about the development and how much he's going to improve from this match today and this matchup.
LaGrassa into a spot of bother. Nashville building triangles, and here's Alan Wynn with room to roam. Going right at Tubbs. It's a punctual run from Davis, right in front. And steered wide by Daniel Rios.
A rarity. That started with great combination play from Bolu. He springs Wynn, Davis gets forward, knocks the ball in. A little bit tight on the near post for Daniel Rios' run, and he just hits it. He has some decent pressure on his back, but just a little bit past that post.
Daniel Rios tied with Sebastian Guinzotti in the USL Eastern Conference in goals, 18. Another thing he's chasing tonight. If he hits 2 goals tonight, he'll have back-to-back 20-goal seasons. It would be the first time that's ever happened in USL Championship history. Bashti slammed towards the goal and well over.
So far in the match, I think all of us that are watching right now, it's safe to say it's not overly exciting thus far in the competition. You've got Atlanta playing a low restraining line, staying really compact defensively, looking to spring on a counter as soon as they gain possession of the ball. And then you've got Nashville that's really keeping possession of the ball, spraying the ball side to side, playing a little bit larger. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's direct. I would say that their choice of range of passing is just a little bit bigger right now.
Quality control from Melodo. Important intervention from Kisiadu. Heavy touch from Claggett. Stoked into the path of Matt Pickens. 103 career clean sheets for Matt Pickens. He will win the Golden Glove tonight if he concedes less than 3 goals. That is a guarantee for Pickens if he were to do so. Win, a burst of speed, right past Barajas to Daniel Rios, off the head of Metcalf.
What about the speed of Alan Wynn on that attack and then that final ball that he played into Daniel Rios? I mean, his explosiveness off of this touch, well, and then he plays it straight back in. Nice little driven ball into Daniel Rios. But the sheer speed and athleticism of Alan Wynn and that isolation touch was magnificent.
Melodo's corner, Lasso! Off of Riley. And here comes Atlanta United too. Benitez, chased by Ockford.
Oh, that last one, that was destined for the goal. Look at this, Forrest Lasso attacks the ball. Good ball by Lebo Melodo. Forrest Lasso attacks the ball, gets down.
That might have gone off Matt LaGrassa.
I think it actually hit Matt LaGrassa.
Oh, and already Atlanta United having to make a substitution. As Bienveni Kanikmana taking out Brandon Claggett. So the night over for Claggett. It's been some sort of physical issue, you'd imagine, for substitution 20th minute. This was just the 4th match played this year for Claggett, and it ends early. And in comes Kanikmana, who has 7 goals this year. 6 of those 7 have come against teams outside of playoff position. It's an interesting story. Just 19 years old, was the leading scorer in the Burundi Premier League, which is a landlocked country in Africa about the size of Maryland. Spotted by Atlanta United. And one for the future with the senior team perhaps, and one for very much the present here with Atlanta United too.
That is a really early substitution. I bet that we could count on one hand or less the number of times we've seen a substitution in the first 20 minutes of the match.
And usually it does come from injuries. Like Michael Reed would be an example of that.
Correct. But Claggett walked off the field on his own accord. And we didn't see him go down and get injured in any way, shape, or form during the flow of the game.
Yeah, only one time this season was a player for Nashville taken off in the first half, not due to injury. That was Kosuke Kimura on the road when they were down against Charlotte. You think they were forced into that substitution just knowing that they only have a handful of players available tonight. Well, fans get Nashville SC updates and alerts all year long by clicking follow on ESPN.com. Mensah able to turn. Melodo, a return back to Mensah. The runners crashing in. Once again, Rios spurned. Desperation defending in front of the goal mouth by Atlanta United too, and this time it was Tubbs.
That's a really great combination play. That ball in from Lebo Melodo. Look at the ball from Ropapa Mensah in. So that's 3 sequences in a row that Nashville has attacked, that every one of them have found their target of Daniel Rios in the flow of the game.
Coca-Cola corner kick for Justin Davis. Center backs have ventured forward. Forrest Lasso and Jimmy Ockford in there. Mensah, and it's Forrest Lasso! His first goal for Nashville! And the party has begun. Atlanta unlocked in the 23rd minute by Forrest Lasso.
Well, Justin Davis always serves such a sturdy ball, puts it directly on his target, and there's not a better target in there than Forrest Lasso, sitting 6'5" inside of the box. And he just gets up, puts the ball back to the opposite corner of where it came from. Textbook finish, very simple for Forrest Lasso, right in his wheelhouse, and there it is. Nashville leads 1-0, less than 25 minutes into the first half.
You're not going to analyze the dance?
Well, I would like to. And I was hopeful that you might have a backstory.
No, I don't.
And that you would have known how it correlated.
Now, he is quite a dancer. He did so when he scored for Cincinnati. And that one's been bottled up for quite some time. It's the first of the season.
And it didn't stop with one or two of the moves. It kept going.
Here's Barajas. Okonkwo lets it run through. Smart header from King. Akinyoti under pressure from Riley. Nashville plays out of the pressure with Meloto. Space to run for Ropapa-Mensah. A positive first touch. Rios arriving along with Witt. It's Daniel Rios looking for a sliver of space. Back out to Mensah. Ropapa with the left foot. That's a spectacular save from Castanera.
Great save by Castanera. Ropapa's been very effective on that right flank, and he chops back in. This particular time decides he's going to give it a go himself instead of serving the ball, chops it into his left foot. Gets an okay strike on it, but it looks like he's really trying to chip him. And Castanera did a great job of getting up and making sure that ball was over the top.
Pressure mounting again. Nashville has Atlanta wobbled. A Coca-Cola corner kick. Paused by Alejandro Mariscal. Disputed real estate right at the penalty spot. Barajas has left the scene. Comes in again. Castanera with two fists to it. LaGrassa sprayed wide for Davis. Oh, how neatly done that is by Meloto. Hoisted in towards Ockford. The flag is up. It is offside.
You know, I will say, so the ball was cleared out early. So if we go back and we talk about the flow of that particular play, Castanera made a great save, two-handed, cleared the first line of defense on his punch out. Matt LaGrassa picks up the ball and plays ball wide into Justin Davis. I think that Justin Davis had chopped back inside of the 18. I think putting that on his left foot, he could have struck that on frame. But he chose to play a little ball into Daniel Rios. But I would say that, you know, I would give Justin Davis the green light. He had chopped right in, had a clear look on frame on his dominant foot, and we all know his ability to strike a ball is tremendous.
Here's Okonkwo. Pursued by Akinyoti. Has more than twice the amount of tackles as anybody else on this Nashville team. Kanakimana again tackled away by Akinyoti. LaGrassa downfield for Rios, who was whistled for the foul. So Rios gets whistled.
I don't see it. Yeah, I'm not sure that you could play that replay for me 4 more times, and I still would say I don't see it.
And it's got room here with Benitez. Floated in towards Kanakimana. Over his head. Barajas. A quality service towards Okonkwo. bodies. It's Darnell King down for Nashville the week before the start of the playoffs.
I think he just caught a knee in his lower back.
Take a look, 21 in gold. Yeah, got undercut by Okonkwo.
Oh, and he lands right on it. Right on his back. He's up, though. It looks like he's going to be okay.
Some wild scores around the USL, by the way. How about this? The free fall for New York Red Bulls 2 continues. A team that was top of the table, I believe just last month. They are down at halftime to Loudoun United 5-1.
Look at Loudoun coming on at the end of the year. Again, another developmental academy that's attached to an MLS program. And you're seeing youngsters that are growing through their experience through the year. And you're seeing teams like Atlanta and Loudoun that are getting results later in the USL season because the youth is now getting age and experience. And they're becoming better players, which is so good for the USL, so good for the MLS, so good for the developmental academies, that it's all linked together.
Going back to Nashville, in mid-July, Nashville SC was 6th place in the USL Eastern Conference, 11 points out of 1st place. At that point, it was Tampa Bay. All of the teams that were ahead of them in mid-July are now behind Nashville SC. And one of the reasons why is Stephen Glass's team, Atlanta United 2, ran through Tampa Bay, Indy, got points at Pittsburgh that are very necessary for Nashville's title chase.
Well, when the bottom of the table starts taking points away from the top of the table, those that remain steady and just do exactly what they need to do to keep playing like a Nashville did or Pittsburgh, continue to gain their points, and they let other people take care of some of the destiny to help them.
We've gotten word that an assistant for Atlanta United 2.
Yep.
Well, we're told that he was sent off, and yeah, there's a signal from Alejandro Mariscal.
He's waiting for him to leave, and he is blatantly ignoring him.
Well, who is it that's got to go off? Stephen Glass is saying, not me. Wait for it. Yeah, who me?
Okay,
guilty.
I'll do it. I'll take it. That's fine. Goalkeeper coach.
Scrambling to find out just who that is that got tossed for Atlanta United 2. Something in the water these days in Nashville. Second straight game that we've had someone from the sideline thrown out. Well, fans, Major League Soccer is almost here, and season tickets are now available. Ticket packages start at just $25 a match. Payment plans are available to purchase your 2020 MLS season tickets. Visit NashvilleSC.com. It's Liam Curran, the goalkeeper coach, who has been thrown out. Here it is, over the top, Daniel Rios! A grown goal-scoring man against Atlanta's boys. Daniel Rios delivers. 2-0.
Oh, look at the little chip ball in there from Bolu Akinyoti. Great diving effort by Daniel Rios. Look at this. Watch this. Lifts it up over the defense. Daniel Rios reads it, repositions the ball, redirects it. That's right there is just pure grit, is what that is.
How about this, Ronnie? 7 times this season, Daniel Rios has had a 2-game goal drought. He's ended it 7 times. Only twice this season has that goal drought stretched to a 3-game goal drought. So Daniel Rios now 1 goal away from back-to-back 20-goal seasons for the first time in USL history. And with that goal as well, he takes the lead in the USL Eastern Conference goal-scoring standings, jumping Sebastian Guenzati, who has 12 minutes to find an answer in Tampa Bay's match at Hartford Athletic. That is now 1-1. And if you are real optimistic, Daniel Rios came in 4 goals behind Solomon Asante in the USL Golden Boot standings, with 18 goals when we came in, 19 now. He would need 3 more goals to tie Asante, but unfortunately for Rios, the tiebreaker is assists, in which Solomon Asante also leads the league.
So you're saying that you need to score 5?
Correct.
So if we're doing our stats correct, in order to ensure a Golden Boot, Daniel Rios must score 5 goals this evening.
And considering Nashville's never had a hat trick, the odds are long. Here's Rios. Win was offside. Flag is up.
And down.
The referee waves it off.
Lovely little touch from Fernandez. Cheeky little thing going one direction. Soft little touch on the ball.
There's Michael Reed. Talked to Michael Reed earlier this week. Ronnie had some good news.
Yeah, you know, speaking with Michael Reed, he said that he is 2 months ahead of rehab schedule. And we talked about how it was clean living, taking good care of his body, and just flat out being a great athlete and challenging himself all the time. And, you know, the first thing that came out of Michael Reed, if we all remember when he got injured on the field, was he was more concerned about the players around him and that the team was going to continue to still fight and play, and less worried about the fact that he was injured. And so I'm not surprised to see that he's 2 months ahead of schedule. I'm not surprised to see him in there leading the charge with the fans in there. I mean, he is a big fabric of Nashville Soccer Club.
Fans follow Nashville SC and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus. Over the USL, MLS, and more. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Fernando. Tight quarters. Throw into the visitors. Pickens off his line. Debates about this ball should be planted, and it will be a goal kick for Nashville SC.
So here's isolation, great little turn. Cuts to the end line. Oh. So Matt Pickens deliberately puts a little touch into the play to earn a goal kick. Gutsy move. Safe since he was on the sideline with where he was. But most definitely a seasoned goalkeeper.
Here's Melodo, seeking out Ropapa. Stalked by Metcalf. Melodo carrying forward. Wind down. And back up. Atlanta sinks back to defend with all 10 players, just one lone forward. Still high. Now here's King. Wishful effort. Going to join Forrest Lasso as the second member of Nashville SC tonight to get his first goal in gold.
I'm not sure if we're going to get to see a replay, but just to acknowledge the sheer athleticism of Alan Wynn. Gets knocked to the ground, gets up, takes a touch, clear space on his touches under his feet. Oh, and we are going to get a play. This is great. So look at Allen Wynn. First of all, we had a little bit of heavy touch, but then well, nope, that's Darnell King. That was the result of a lovely patient buildup for Nashville Soccer Club that ended with a ball that was struck over the goal by Darnell King.
It was King, who was a forward in college. Rios looking for his second tonight. Swarmed by the entire Atlanta back line. It's still Rios! He'll go alone! History, a new record written. The first back-to-back 20-goal seasons in league history. The man to fear in this league and beyond.
Daniel Rios, 1 versus 3. He's drawn the attention of Tubbs, of Metcalf, of Barajas. He maintains possession of the ball. Look, he's 1 versus 3, fighting them off, battling, gets up like a true goal scorer, keeps the ball low, recognizes that the one place that you have to keep it to make it very dangerous and make the goalkeeper have to leave their feet is keeping the ball low, and Daniel Rios is a master of that. That's why he's a great goal scorer. Not because he strikes an unbelievably good ball, but because he has great composure and the ability to find spaces that are very simple when he strikes the ball. So that makes 2 of the 5.
Ronnie referencing the Golden Boot race. Daniel Rios would need 5 goals tonight to win the USL Golden Boot and take it away from Solomon Asante. And well, if you do the numbers and you do the timing, he's not far off the pace. Dream first half for Nashville SC. Akinyoti sliced down aggressively. This could be the first booking of the match, and there it is. Yellow card to Laurent Kissiadou, 20-year-old Ivorian.
It's a good battle to begin with. Kissiadou just losing a little bit of composure, trying to stop Bolu from breaking through in the midfield and breaking that line of defense and going forward. Just catches them late, a bit behind. Definitely a yellow card offense.
Well, soccer fans, get your official Nashville SC gear, including MLS styles, online at NashvilleSC.com. Set piece again. Brings the center backs forward, Forrest Lasso and Jimmy Ockford. Nashville again trying to exploit its severe height advantage. Melodo flicked on, taken down by Bashji. The outbreak begins at the feet of Riley. Touch around from Davis. Numbers in the area. Oh, how neatly done that is by Davis. Akinyoti trying to find a shaft of light on that near post.
What a ball from Justin Davis in combination with Bolu Akinyoti.
Kind of getting to that moment where everybody gets to express themselves in the last game of the season, the regular season, that is.
Well, you know, and Justin Davis is a great story on the year. Think about where the role he played early in the year, and think about the fact that he got into some matches. He was coming off of the bench, and then he's remained consistent and very effective in the minutes that he had. And now he's been a mainstay at left back for Nashville Soccer Club, and he runs the flank. He serves a great ball on that left foot. He's showing us a little bit of his creativity today, which is a real joy for everybody to be able to watch. But I've been cheering for him throughout the year because he's such a warrior, and I enjoyed watching him get rewarded for all of his hard work with some more playing time.
Davis. Win, lung-busting run. Tried to touch around Tubbs, who stayed honest. Dominant display so far for Nashville. Win. Lost track of the ball underneath his own feet.
Just say, forgot the ball.
Daniel Rios, 2 goals tonight.
It's effective.
Hunting for the first hat trick in club history. 20 goals this season for Rios, 20 goals last year for North Carolina FC. A team that Nashville may very well meet in the playoffs. Now, if this result holds, which all indications are pointing to that happening, Nashville will have quite a Sunday waiting for Birmingham and Pittsburgh to collide in Alabama. Nashville will need Birmingham to pull points off of Pittsburgh if they want to win the Eastern Conference. Win scrapping with Barajas. Now, winning the Eastern Conference is an accomplishment in itself, but it also means home field advantage throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs. If you ask the players, the toughest places to play on the road, they typically say Pittsburgh is the #1. One of the reasons why was the surface of that field, which has been replaced, so a little bit less of a harsh surface, but nevertheless, Pittsburgh clearly one of the toughest, if not the toughest place to play in the USL Eastern Conference. Motivation for avoiding it in the postseason. That'll do it for the first half. Dominant, devastating display from Nashville Soccer Club. 3 goals to the good. Brett Jacobs filling in for Gary Smith tonight. Will take his team to the dressing rooms. Currently first in the live table as they hunt for the USL Eastern Conference crown. Fist bumps with their captain Michael Reed on the way out. Daniel Rios, 2 goals already. Will there be more in the second half? It is our halftime presented by Nissan First from First Tennessee Park.
Welcome to Halftime presented by Nissan. This week, Nashville SC teamed up with fellow local sports teams for a day of service at Second Harvest Food Bank. Here's more.
Second Harvest Food Bank Middle Tennessee is here to feed the 1 out of every 8 people in Middle Tennessee who are experiencing food insecurity, which means they don't know where that next meal is coming from. 1 out of 6 kids actually also experiencing that food insecurity. And so our mission is to feed hungry people and to help solve hunger issues in Middle Tennessee. Today we are sorting through food. We have grocery rescue, 2 different rooms, our dry food, which is those shelf-stable items, and then our frozen and refrigerated food. So all of this food was picked up from grocery stores, was going to get thrown out, but thanks to volunteers, we're able to sort through and save 80 to 85% of that food and get it back out to the community. So we absolutely can't do the work we do without our volunteers. It doesn't do anybody any good just sitting in a warehouse. So the whole process of sorting, inspecting, making sure this food is safe and getting it out to the community is so important. But I also think that those sports teams committing to their own community is really amazing to see too, and they bring a lot of great energy.
Stats and standings are coming up next. Stay tuned for more of Halftime presented by Nissan.
Lovely night at First Tennessee Park after some early rain showers cleared. It's our halftime presented to you by Nissan. John Freeman joined by Ronnie Woodard, and it was all Nashville Soccer Club in the first half. Let's go ahead and take a look at the statistical proof of it. Ronnie, an onslaught really from the opening whistle. Nashville did not look back from the opening goal from Forrest Lasso.
Excluding that early frenzy in the 45-second range that ATL2 had, there's really been nothing that's been damaging throughout the entire match. It's been clearly dominated from Nashville in the stats, in the possession, in the quality of looks on frame, the physicality of the game, it really has been, this is 100% indicative. The only thing that you can see here is that Atlanta is trying to play. They have 47% of the possession. So they're effective when they gain possession of the ball, but what this is showing you is that when Nashville has the ball, they're getting results. They're getting an end product of 13 shots, 5 shots on target, and having 3 goals scored. So their possession is more relative to the result.
And the scary part for Atlanta, they only have one outfield player left on the bench. That's Jordan Matthews, a 17-year-old. There's no relief in sight for this ATL UTD2 team. This is the live table. This is if the season ended right now with this game ending 3-0. Nashville would jump Pittsburgh, but however, Pittsburgh does have a game in hand, and that game comes tomorrow as they travel to Birmingham, who is now officially in the playoffs. If you're a Nashville fan, you were rooting for St. Louis to get a road victory over North Carolina. That would have put the pressure on Birmingham. Instead, the Legion, with the knowledge that they have tonight, can field a much weaker side against title hunting Pittsburgh.
Sure, so there's an exhale from Birmingham. And it came down to the 90-plus minute. You know, St. Louis was tied with North Carolina. North Carolina converts in injury time to get the win. That solidifies the 10 spot for Birmingham. So now that you got to ask, are they going to come out and are they going to play for a draw? Are they going to preserve some legs? And how is Pittsburgh going to attack the game? You know, now the pressure is going to be on Pittsburgh. If this result stands for the evening and Nashville stays top of the table, Pittsburgh has to find a way to get 3 points tomorrow.
Let's take a look at what these results tonight mean. Here is the USL Championship Eastern Conference playoffs. Nashville hoping for the 1 seed. They could be the 2 seed. That's the worst they could finish no matter what happens tonight and tomorrow. And then they will face the winner. That is the second, if they're, let's say they're the 2nd seed, they would face the 2nd highest seed that won the play-in game. So follow me here. If the 10 wins their 7 versus 10, they would play the 1. And then if anybody else, like say the 8 or 9, would play the 2 seed. Class is not in session very much, is it? There's easier ways to do that, I'm sure. But nevertheless, Nashville, the 1 or 2, and they will play either the 7, 8, 9, or 10 seed on Saturday night, hopefully in front of those young fans at First Tennessee Park. 3-0 Nashville with the lead at halftime. It is our halftime presented to you by Nissan. Three goals to the good for Nashville SC at halftime at First Tennessee Park. It is our halftime presented to you by Nissan on a very nice winter night here in Nashville. I want to welcome you up to our broadcast booth. John Freeman, Ronnie Woodard. It was all Nashville here in this first half. Forrest Lasso got the goal scoring started. Then it was followed 2 goals by Daniel Rios, who's closing in perhaps on the first hat trick in Nashville SC history. Let's go ahead and take a look at how we got to our scoreline with our first half highlights. And, well, it starts with Forrest Lasso. Ronnie, you come for the goal, you stay for the dance on this highlight.
Absolutely, and I hope we get to see. There it is, and there's the celebration. It's a routine head ball by Forrest Lasso, followed up right here by a great ball that's played in behind by Bolu Akinyodi, a sliding goal by Daniel Rios. Nashville's up 3-0 at halftime. Forrest Lasso's done a dance. Michael Reed's been leading the crowd in cheers. And then there's the single individual effort where Daniel Rios draws in 3 different players and then gets the ball on frame, gets his second goal of the night. And the celebration has started in Nashville. And looking forward to the second half, they have 45 minutes to make sure that they assure this victory.
Well, before we kick things off here at First Tennessee Park for the second half, let's go ahead and get our weather from our friends at Fox 17.
Hello, soccer fans. I'm meteorologist Justin Chambers. All right, hopefully you're enjoying the game. Heading home tonight, we're talking about temperatures mainly in the mid-50s, mostly cloudy skies, and definitely will be chilly. Now, we will be a bit warmer as we head towards Sunday, and we're going to keep those clouds kind of hanging around, but not looking for much in the way of rain. You can see that here on our future track as we take you through Sunday afternoon. If you're heading out to the Titans game, no issues there. But our next weather maker bringing in some rain showers into early Monday morning, and that's going to last into Monday afternoon as well.
Well, Nashville has made a substitution at halftime, and Taylor Washington is in, a player who has a goal 2 games ago, an assist just last week in their win against North Carolina Football Club. Washington going to be a key cog as this team churns into the postseason. It's an unfortunate exclusion tonight, giving way for Alan Wynn. We're still waiting to see just who he came in for.
Yeah, Washington came in for Ropapa. Ropapa came off, moved Wynn to the right side, and brought Washington into the left. So now Nashville is attacking with 2 very strong left-footed players, with a Justin Davis and a Taylor Washington on that left side, and 2 very quick players in Alan Wynn and Darnell King on the right side.
Final kickoff of the regular season for Nashville SC and Atlanta United 2. Second half underway. Of course, final kickoff unless there are more goals, as there very well could be against an Atlanta United 2 team that is struggling both in this match but also to find some experience. They've got several teenagers in the lineup tonight. Here is one of them, and Garrison Tubbs, 17-year-old. Average age in the Atlanta United 2 starting lineup, less than 20 years old. Which is younger than any player Nashville has on the roster. Rapapa Mensah is the youngest player for Nashville SC. Now he'll watch the rest of this regular season from the sideline. Okonkwo, chased by Ockford. Rolls it in front. It's Kisiadu. Looking for his second goal of the season after an injury-filled year.
So you can see right away that Atlanta made a few adjustments and tweaks within their lineup. They now have Barajas that's moved into the center of the midfield. And it looks like they pulled Riley out to be further wide now and have adjusted the positioning of those 2 players.
Rios, 2 goals in that first half. So here is the scenario. Nashville with a win tonight and a Pittsburgh loss or tie. So if the Riverhounds don't match Nashville's result, then Nashville will win the Eastern Conference, will be the top seed heading into the postseason in the East. And then a tie tonight and a Pittsburgh loss tomorrow would also do the task. So pretty much Nashville this weekend has to gain more points than Pittsburgh. It's that simple of an equation. to win the Eastern Conference.
Unlike trying to figure out who everyone's playing.
Thank you.
After at halftime, which is more of a puzzle.
Thought I explained it perfectly.
You were crystal clear. And my apologies for just sitting and listening at halftime.
Sitting and laughing.
I did. All I could do was smile because I had absolutely no idea. I was watching very intently.
Long story short, Nashville will not know who they play in the first round of the USL Championship playoffs until the play-in round is complete on Wednesday night.
That is crystal clear.
Could be one of 4 teams that have qualified now for the play-in rounds. Well, this is a sight for Nashville fans. Forrest Lasso is down and grimacing in pain.
Holding his Achilles, I think. His foot stepped on it. Maybe. There we go. He's up.
That was a scary moment for Nashville fans. This is one of the main catalysts of this midseason, not turnaround because Nashville was still well positioned in the table, but maybe midseason relaunch when Nashville brought in Forrest Lasso and Jimmy Ockford that has propelled them here to being conference contenders.
And the captain of the team right now. You know, when Michael Reed was injured and was leaving the field, he handed the captain band to Forrest Lasso, and he's done a tremendous job leading this group.
Down on the pitch is our Kelly Glendenning. What do you have for us, KG?
Guys, Brett Jacobs came out of the locker room with a huge smile on his face. He felt that the team really bought into the game plan in the first half, which is what really made the difference. And he really wanted to snuff that left side that Atlanta United had going into the first half. So that's why they made that substitution with Taylor Washington.
Washington making inroads. Perfectly placed cross to Alan Wynn. Could not steer it on Frank. It's a player that's second on the team in chances created. Top 10 in the East in total crosses, averaging more than 6 a match, and they have started to find their targets more down the stretch of this season.
Yeah, that was one of the concerns that we always addressed earlier and really late last year, is there were really a lot of unanswered services that really were not on the target. And now this year, you've seen such an improvement in the ability to serve a ball, find a target, and the timing of the runs that are into the box are very pivotal in that too.
Well, Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. It's a nice string of passes from Atlanta United too. Finally denied by Lebo Maloto. So this is the 5th time that these teams have met. Nashville is outscoring Atlanta United 2 in this series now, 11-0. The other interesting thing was, despite the aggregated scoreline being what it was and what it is, Atlanta has actually taken more shots in the series than Nashville SC, as the boys in gold obviously opting for more high chance opportunities.
Yeah, it's appeared today watching Atlanta United 2, their ability to create in the final third has been lacking today. They're keeping possession of the ball, and between their midfielders and Barajas and Riley and Metcalf and Tubbs are all keeping possession of the ball, but they're not really having any creativity or dynamic movement in the attacking third.
This is a set piece for the side from Georgia. Bouncing out to Kisiadu, denied by King. Rebounds back out to Kisiadu. Gold jerseys swarming him. And Nashville sets sail on a counterattack. Bombarding down the far flank is Taylor Washington. The run arriving from Lebo Maloto and Rios. Bouncing out to Alan Wynn. Oh, it might have skimmed the crossbar on its way out.
There were 6 Nashville Soccer Club players breaking on that set piece. Watch the speed and the level of commitment that they have. And Lebo plays wild, plays under, goes in. Everyone's got to keep up with Taylor Washington, who's incredibly quick. But look at the number of players that are in the box. The delivery is not exactly to the person that they really needed to find, which I believe it would have been Matt LaGrassa on that back post, who was streaming there and standing by himself. So it was left a little short, but then fortunately ended up with Alan Wynn, who then had a near miss just over the goal. So I want to keep my eye right now on this Benitez-Wynn matchup. They've been getting a little cheeky off of the ball, pushing each other, having a couple of words. It's turning into quite a little battle. Benitez being the left back for Atlanta, and then Wynn being the right-sided flank player for Nashville.
Rios, that's a cunning touch into the path of Washington. Wynn the only option. Flanked in by Washington. A late run arriving from Maloto. Reclaimed by the South African. LaGrassa. King. Taken back by Bashi. Kanakimana. Anko makes a space clearing run. Swallowed up by the combination of Davis and Akinyoti. Sweet control from Rios.
Good hold-up play from Lake Rios.
And now Wynn. It's back on Tubbs. Rushing in was Metcalf. Kanakimana. Wide open game right now. Kisiadu was altered by recovering Davis. Benitez. Running up a drive. Door closes with Darnell King and Matt LaGrassa involved. Throw into Nashville. Well, here's Matt Pickens. Positioned to win the USL Golden Glove race. Chasing was John McCarthy tonight. And Zach Lubin of Phoenix Rising, Kyle Morton of Pittsburgh. Imagine watching tonight from their Birmingham hotel rooms. Matt Pickens has to go another about 35 or so minutes without conceding 3 goals. And he will win the Golden Glove. Well, fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy.
So what a season Matt Pickens has had. You know, just when you thought maybe he wasn't going to get any better than he was last year, you know, I feel like physically he's improved, he's more fit, he's stronger, and he's just such a solid goalkeeper for Nashville.
Washington. A burst of speed, cut out by Tubbs.
Good string of passes from Nashville. Good patience, going side to side, knowing that the clock is their friend. They have a convenient lead, keeping possession of the ball. Right now, they've probably strung together, I would say, about 11 passes. And then Forrest Lasso. Let's go and let's start counting from there. Oh, I hexed them. As soon as I started addressing the fact that they were going side to side and laterally and count their passes, we give a ball away. And in training, they'd have to start from scratch. Start from number 1, number 2. And here they go. They can break them down right here if they change their pace. And here goes Alan Wynn.
Whips it. Wynn with options aplenty. Laid over for Washington. Again, beats his defender towards Rios, over his head. Casidu. Fernando. Barajas. Bashti. Kanakimana. Grasso went stabbing it. Collecting the debris is Bolo Akinyoti.
Again, Nashville in total control of the tempo of this game, maintaining possession of the ball. You know, it's possession with a purpose, and what their purpose is just they're creating a rhythm until they can pull Atlanta out of their shape.
Cross flung in, nicked by Ockford. Carter appeals for a penalty from Okonkwo. I think it may have grazed the hand of Ockford. Nearing the hour mark. All three of Nashville's goals coming in the first half. Horace Lasso, his first of the season, and then Daniel Rios adding 2 more. Substitutions getting ready. Looks like Cameron Lancaster and Derek Jones set to enter. Gary Smith told us he wants Derek Jones to get more minutes because this is a player that, just like Cameron Lancaster, can have a major role here in the postseason. Benitez, oh, Matt Pickens called into duty. Making sure. The save with Golden Glove prints all over it.
Here it comes, it strikes. Matt Pickens, you know, it looked a little closer than what early anticipated. And even if you read Matt Pickens' lips after the save, I knew it was wide. He was just being safe. But that was far more dangerous of a strike from that angle than what originally I had thought from watching it live.
This is better from Atlanta. Was Tubbs trying his hand in the attacking options?
It's important that Nashville keeps their form right now. They've got to stay consistent, they've got to keep battling, and they've got to preserve the shutout. You know, it's not just about the result today, it's about the performance that they're building upon for the playoffs at this point. And it's important that they're stingy defensively and pay attention to details. What they don't want to do is start giving the ball away, getting too lackadaisical in their play, and creating some bad habits going into the playoffs.
Barajas.
Great double tackle by Matt LaGrassa.
LaGrassa stoking his team forward. Malota. Imagine with Lancaster coming in, that could be the end of the quest for Daniel Rios to win the Golden Boot.
Better to preserve and not risk an injury than, you know, have him chase something that probably isn't that important to Daniel Rios. He'd rather see a championship and be able to play all the way through.
Casidu towards Okonkwo. Sure-footed from Darnell King.
He's smiling. He's not taking any chances with that. That cleared the stands. Safely out of bounds.
Lasso. All 11 defending for the boys in gold. Cross over the head of Okonkwo. Well, here are the substitutions for Nashville SC. And Nashville choosing to bubble wrap Daniel Rios for the playoffs. His regular season has finished. The most goals in the U.S. Southeastern Conference, Daniel Rios exits. Next time we see him, it will be in the playoffs. And now Cameron Lancaster comes in a player who won the Golden Boot last year. Injury-plagued season. He will replace Daniel Rios, and Lebo Melodo, who came in tied in the Eastern Conference in assists this season with 10, will be replaced by Derek Jones.
Why substitutions? Right, you have two players in Lancaster and Jones that need minutes to get back to game fitness. Both of them had injuries this year. Both of them slated to play large roles with Nashville Soccer Club. Both had setbacks, and it's a great opportunity to get quality minutes in here to help get them to true form as the playoff run comes on.
And you also get to take out your playmaker in Melodo and your goal-scoring star in Daniel Rios.
Rest those legs. Don't risk an injury. Quality decision-making all the way around by Coach Jacobs.
And that's it. Nashville's out of substitutions. Jones is a massive presence. 4 in gold. 6'4", 22-year-old. More hopeful service. Ball across the end line before Benitez could get there. So for Nashville, going back to Derek Jones, 22-year-old, played 8 minutes versus Loudoun, 16 minutes versus Lou City, just 5 against North Carolina FC. This is all after breaking his leg in a May 30th match in Murfreesboro against Charleston, the U.S. Open Cup. He's on a Major League Soccer contract. He will play for Nashville SC next year in MLS, and we want him to have a large role in the playoffs this season in USL. Win. The face of goal as Lancaster made the near post run. More studious work from Akinyoti. Here's Jones. Tug from Okonkwo, stops him in his tracks.
Not even discreet.
Justin Davis standing over the set piece. Already has an assist tonight. It's on frame.
Interesting. Played directly into Forrest Lasso. The rest of the Nashville Soccer Club was on the left side of the goal. Forrest Lasso was isolated on the right side, and Justin Davis served a ball, bending ball into Forrest Lasso, making a tight little run.
Or Kelly Glendenning is down on the sideline. Kelly, what do you have for us?
Just a couple of first half stats in distance covered. Matt LaGrassa, believe it or not, covered 3.5 miles just then.
Shot from Justin Davis, parried away by Castanera. And the whistle coming from Alejandro Mariscal. Go ahead, Kelly.
And then also for number of sprints, Alan Wynn had the most. He had 37 total. And what I am told by Stacey Daniels is that typically players average about 40 in an entire game. So if that is any reference to how many times he is sprinting down the field, that is just so many. And then this was a shocker for me. Fastest tonight was actually Jimmy Ockford. He clocked in at 21 miles per hour. John?
We knew they had athletes. How about that, Ronnie?
Well, and we spoke about Alan Wynn and his effectiveness in the first half and how he was running the flank and how quick he was, getting up and down, and athletic that he was in the space he covered. So I'm not surprised of that statistic. I am a little surprised of Jimmy Ockford being the quickest in the first half, because Alan Wynn was blazing fast in the first half. And so for Jimmy Ockford to be quicker than that's truly impressive.
Well, remember, Ockford was a forward in college at Mount St. Mary's and then transferred to Louisville, where he was converted to a defender and has stayed there ever since. We've seen his scoring prowess, though, at moments this season. Here's Alan Wynn. Recovering was Riley, the teenager.
Good defending by Riley. Wynn didn't even look over his shoulder, never saw him there. And Riley just coming back, giving some cover, and winning on that tackle, disrupt that attack.
Let's also go back. During Kelly's report, Justin Davis was given a yellow card for Nashville SC. Now, there's only one player for Nashville that was coming in on yellow card watch, which is what happens when you hit a certain threshold of yellow cards and you get one more, then you get punished. And typically it's a suspension for a game, which 3 Atlanta players are on right now because they got yellow cards in their last match. Long story short, Lebo Malota was on that watch. He is now taken out of the game, so he's not in danger. But anyway, yellow card suspensions are not served in the playoffs, so he didn't come in danger, although the team would have gotten a fine from the league, which is the punishment. And then the other thing to note is a red card does carry over into the playoffs. So if Justin Davis or anybody on the field were to pick up 2 yellow cards and get a red card, they would have to sit out the first round of the playoffs.
Right.
Fernando. Nashville content to let Atlanta ping the ball around. Team that has the 4th most connected passes of any team in the entire USL. Kisiadu. Off for the Nashville player, now for the Coca-Cola corner kick. Well, Major League Soccer is almost here. Season tickets are now available. Ticket packages start at just $25 a match, and payment plans are available to purchase your 2020 MLS season tickets. Just go to visitnashvillesc.com. Hoisted high towards Tubbs.
Oh, miscommunication.
Benitez had called off Okonkwo. Play continues at the feet of Barajas. Footed cross is a good one. Squared back in front. Tubbs. Save made by Matt Pickens.
Fabulous save by Matt Pickens. Really good bout of attacking from Atlanta. Ball served in from Barajas. Repositioned that ball, frames it back across the goal, puts it into the center of the goal. Matt Pickens is going from the right side of the goal, getting to his back post, moving his footwork, going to ground, making a quick save, and it keeps the clean sheet alive. Fabulous bout of footwork from Matt Pickens.
Remember, Matt Pickens needs to concede less than 3 goals tonight to win the USL Golden Glove, given to the player with the best goals against average at the end of the season. Onside, Kanekumana and 2 Nashville players playing their part in conserving the clean sheet.
Yeah, Lasso was not even with the line and was about a foot behind it, which enabled Atlanta to stay on sides, and so he had no choice but to go in on that tackle to kind of save that opportunity.
Now pressure building here. Atlanta looking bright here in the last 5 minutes, and now Cameron Lancaster with room to roam. Atlanta trying to recover on defense. It's still Lancaster, rolled into the path of Wynn. The attack dissolves. And forced to move backwards. King. Jones. They'll expand into the back line. Credit Atlanta, down 3-0. They were hustling back on that break for Nashville.
You know who's had a tough game is Okonkwo, because he's the one lone striker in this defensive shape. And I'll hold this thought for a second while Nashville's on this attack. Good patient attacking by Nashville right there. Good combination play, Wynn and Lancaster.
Akinyoti did not apply the texture necessary.
So Okonkwo, to go back to, he has had to cover so much ground. He's had to deal with both Lasso and Awkward and chasing the ball and trying to make the play predictable so his midfield could get a good compact space to be able to try to win the ball. And the amount of mileage that he's put in today, just simply defending, the amount of space that he's been required to cover has been very challenging for him as a player today.
Nashville looking for more. Washington rolled right in front. Castanera.
I mean, why not? They let him run to the end line. They let him run the end line. And watch, he's like, well, I'm just going to see if I can sneak this in on this near post. And here he is. He looks up, and they keep letting him going. He's like, well, I think he saw win on the back post.
Acting coach Brett Jacobs orchestrating this corner. Coca-Cola corner kick in the 74th minute from Justin Davis. Only 3 targets in the area.
And they hit none of them. That went right to Fernandez's feet. Some type of miscue from Nashville on that one.
Brave run from Fernando. Lancaster. Ronnie, there's still a role for Cameron Lancaster on this team. I know it hasn't been the season that he or anybody wanted. Just 17 appearances, several injury spells, one after another. Still does have 5 goals, has the talent, and is now healthy again. And when you look at Cameron Lancaster, every team in the playoffs, East and West, would love to have him on the roster. He would probably be a starter on most playoff teams. For Nashville, most likely his role will be off of the bench, and a dangerous role at that.
And he can do 2 things. Let's talk about the beginning of the season. The beginning of the season, the whole thought process was playing a 2-front with Lancaster and Rios playing up there with Moloto under those 2 players. Great little triangle attack, very potent, very dangerous. And then unfortunately for Lancaster, he had a season filled of injuries. And he would recover and he would re-injure. He'd recover and he would re-injure. And does that mean he's not going to be in the right form for this? No, I think he's going to get there. And he's a super sub, for lack of a better term. Everybody would want to bring Cameron Lancaster off of their USL bench to help them win a championship. And he's getting minutes and he's getting more fit. But he's still going to make a major impact on this team going through the playoffs.
And this club going forward after the playoffs. He is signed to an MLS deal. It's time to vote for today's Budweiser Man of the Match. Find the poll at the official Nashville SC Twitter account at Nashville SC. 2 goals tonight for Rios. Is he a shoe-in?
I think because people like goal scorers. But I do think Daniel Rios has earned the opportunity to be the player of the game. He was very effective in the first half, whether he was hold up play in the center of the midfield, whether it was the quality of the runs that he made into the final third, or just his flat-out execution and finishing 2 opportunities that he had on frame. I mean, I think Daniel Rios had a good body of work in the first half.
Okonkwo trying to turn past Ockford and gain the whistle from Alejandro Mariscal. Official that's gone 4 straight matches without awarding a penalty. Okonkwo pointing the evidence, his turned shin guard. For the jury and the judge.
Still not fixing it.
Can't destroy the evidence. Tampering.
There it goes. He just fixed it.
Benitez.
Right there, Benitez's ball that he was trying to play into the feet of Okonkwo it was way too predictable. He takes 2 touches, he looks up, he tries to play the feet of Okonkwo. It's way too easy for Jimmy Ockford to just step in, put pressure on it. As he penetrated in, he could look to the left. Riley was about to make an overlapping run, which would have been very dangerous to the Nashville defense.
next week, those supporters will see the first home playoff match in Nashville's history. Final substitution here for Atlanta for outfield players, because it's the only one they've got left. Well, it is just the second substitution of the night. It will be Jordan Matthews to replace Luis Fernando. Matthews replacing Fernando. Matthews' only start was a 2-2 draw versus Charlotte back in July 24th. This is his first USL minutes since July 24th. He played those 82 minutes against Charlotte, an academy kid that they think very highly of. Just 17 years old. Joining Garrison Tubbs on the field at 17 years old, and also William Riley at 16.
Well, Clayette at the beginning of the game was 17 years old.
Well, yeah.
17 years old.
It's like a prom dinner group. 4 kids under 17 years old, or 17 and under.
And Matt Pickens gets chaperone at 37.
And also note that George Bello, incredible young player for Atlanta, that not only is drawing first team minutes, but is getting some serious senior national team buzz. And his prospects are limitless. George Bello, typical starter on this Atlanta United 2 team, and moonlight starter for the Atlanta United senior side. He is with the U17 national team in Brazil for the upcoming U17 World Cup. We asked Gary Smith which player for Atlanta impresses you the most. He said, without a doubt, George Bello is a supreme young talent in the American youth soccer system.
Well, we're all certainly wishing him the best of luck in the World Cup and be cheering for him from afar.
McInerney drawing the foul from Jordan Matthews. This is all happening in front of tonight's Ashton Real Estate attendance, 6,073. 773. Season ticket holders all know that first round of the playoffs included in their season ticket package. By Castanera.
So let's talk about it. We're in the 81st minute, and it's still 3-0. So the second half has brought 0 goals for Nashville. There hasn't been quite the same sense of urgency that they had in the first half. They definitely had created a lesser of a tempo and have kept possession of the ball a little bit more, keeping their touches clean, moving Atlanta side to side, keeping the ball lateral a little bit more than they were demanding of an attacking space. But still, to Atlanta's credit, Atlanta came out very organized, have had a bit of the ball in the second half, have had a couple of good looks on frames. Matt Pickens had to make some saves. And, you know, you wouldn't know that they were down 3-0 with the way they came out in the second half. So that's a true credit to the program, to the coaching staff, to the culture that they're creating in Atlanta.
Atlanta United 2 team that performs much differently on the road than they do at home, as most teams do, but the contrast is much more drastic for this Atlanta team than it is for most of the teams around the league.
And let's keep in mind, they're playing without 3 players that are normally in the back line for them. You know, they're playing without Decus, Campbell, that are both on suspensions, and then they're also playing without White. And so they've got 3 players that are supposed to be playing that are mainstays in the back line for them that they've made adjustments to for the game this evening. And so, again, a true credit to the Atlanta coaching staff and the players.
And also, of course, Bello.
And then Bello, too.
17 World Cup, and then Mikey Ambrose.
And Mikey Ambrose is not here also. So you're looking at a swing of 5 players. from the last game that they played to tonight.
Well, Matt Pickens having a historic season, close to the finish line of this regular season. Kanekimana traced that ball down as it had passed over the head of Darnell King. And Atlanta knocking on the door, continuing to test this clean sheet. There's Matt Pickens. More than twice the age of 3 Atlanta players on the field at this very moment. Forded by Jones. Nashville looking for its 9th clean sheet at home. And is there more here for the boys in gold? Not this time, because Kevin Barajas Davis has been bright and purposeful. Lobbed in towards Jones. Castanera. Bashi. Kisidu. Riley. Barajas. Called off by Pickens.
The final ball for Atlanta has been lacking this evening. Their ability to find the point on any type of service has been a little off. Their striking of ball has been all over and not on frame. And so they've really lacked a little bit of chemistry and technical ability in the final third tonight.
Well, the votes are in, Ronnie. Tonight's Budweiser Man of the Match, voted on by the fans. Number 14, Daniel Rios. The history maker himself, back-to-back 20-goal seasons in the USL Championship, the first player to ever do that. Will be eligible next year. Be on his way to Major League Soccer with Nashville SC. As will this man, Derek Jones. There is the man of the match. Rios becoming not only a fan favorite, but also one around the community with the great personalities on the team, and a team full of them, including the soaring Forrest Lasso. Bouncing around, Benitez on a foul called on Nashville at the edge of the 18. So Alejandro Mariscal saying that advantage fell apart once the ball entered a crowd of Nashville players, and this is a set piece in a prosperous position. And immediately the ball grabbed by Laurent Kisidu. He wants to take this himself.
LaGrassa just got a little bit of piece. He took a full swing on that tackle and just caught the bottom of the boot. Dangerous space for a set piece. Big wall from Nashville. I mean, look at the size of the players that are in that wall. Derek Jones, Bolu Akinyoti, Forrest Lasso, well, all of them well over 6 feet.
Kisidu standing over. Off the wall. And the clean sheet preserved.
Off Justin Davis, right? Is that off him just on the outside of the wall, I think it was? Yep, on the outside of the wall, directly off his chest. I mean, that was an enormous wall.
Does lead to the Coca-Cola corner kick, which leads to another.
A little bit of a mistimed head ball from Forrest Lasso. very rare do you see that from him.
And that ball finally goes out. So back to our Budweiser man of the match, Daniel Rios, saying not only he's got the MLS contract, 20 goals this season, 20 goals last season, but he's a community favorite. When you think about every time this team goes out in public, it seems like Daniel Rios is always at the events that the team goes to. He's known that when the team sends around emails, asking players, can you go to this event? Can you go to this charity event? He's the first one that responds almost every single time. Another example, when he posts photos of himself on social media, he credits the team photographer.
He sure does, every
There's
time.
There's not an athlete in the world that does that. Tags the team photographer and gives him the proper credit.
Yes. He's no social media rookie. It's also usually in 2 languages, if you read carefully. He's been a really, really lovely addition to the Nashville Soccer Club group this year. Not only for what he's done in the community and what he's done on the field, but just the fact that he's a pro through and through. He approaches every game like a competitor. You don't ever see him out there going halfway through the motions. Like, you see him ready to play and compete every single game.
Atlanta, as is their mandate, always keen to build out of the back. It's Benitez. Conquo. Once again, any semblance of an attack destroyed by Bolu Akinyoti. Just 1 minute of stoppage time here at First Tennessee Park for this fabulous regular season for Nashville Soccer Club concludes. In the last minute of the regular season, we will give it to the fans at First Tennessee Park. As the fans empty their lungs, the final minute of the regular season set to conclude. And how fitting that it almost ends in the hands of Matt Pickens.
The Golden Glove winner.
There it is. Final whistle at First Tennessee Park. Your 2019 USL Championship Golden Glove winner is Matt Pickens. They have done all they can. They will sleep tonight at the top of the table. They will dream for an Alabama assist.
And Matt Pickens will be sleeping with that game ball tonight, too.
The regular season is over. The job is done. The next one will begin soon. But first, Nashville has heaved all of its chips to the table, and the pressure is on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They must answer this result in Birmingham tomorrow, or Nashville Soccer Club will win the Eastern Conference in the USL Championship. The man on the left, the Golden Glove winner, the man who just exited your screen to the right, Daniel Rios, 2 goals tonight. Historic back-to-back 20-goal seasons. Brett Jacobs, acting for Gary Smith, as Nashville's normal manager suspended for this match, will return for the postseason. But Brett Jacobs filling in and commanding Nashville to a 3-0 victory. I'd like to thank our corporate partners, Nissan, Vanderbilt Health, Dex Imaging, Budweiser, Puckett's, Kroger, Coca-Cola, MyTV 30, and Fox 17. Nashville SC 3, Atlanta United 2-0. Our postgame show coming up from First Tennessee Park. Back at First Tennessee Park, the regular season has concluded. Fans will congregate again in this building next Saturday, 7 o'clock kickoff against an opponent that we will know on Wednesday. Nashville will either be the 1 or 2 seed in the USL Championship Eastern Conference playoffs, and they will have the top goalkeeper in the league to use next Saturday. It is Matt Pickens. It is official. Statistically, this is the top goalkeeper, the Golden Glove winner by way of the clean sheet tonight. Here is our save of the game from Matt Pickens. Not a lot of looks there in the second half for Atlanta United 2. This one right on top, and Pickens, acrobatic save, swooping low to make it, and deny Tubbs, the center back, the 17-year-old for Atlanta United 2.
And he does a great job of getting his body around the ball, Tubbs does, and he gets it down, but Matt Pickens is so athletic. He's so fit this year. He's so focused. He went from his right post to his left post, back to the center, to the ground to make the save. I mean, I'm not sure that I've seen a goalkeeper play more consistent than Matt Pickens has this year. He has been the rock of that back defense.
Drinks flung to the air. Don't drink too much, guys. Still got a playoff run.
Not tomorrow, they don't.
It's interesting. We asked Gary Smith in our call with the coach saying, okay, if you do win on Saturday night, this is when we talked to him on Friday, if you do win, what do you guys do for the Pittsburgh-Birmingham game? Because you could win the Eastern Conference at home by watching the television. He said, well, my daughter's got a 16th birthday party we've got to attend. We'll be on there, and then maybe the players will get together and have a watch party themselves. Go ahead and take a look at our final stats here in this match. They're going to be heavily skewed towards Nashville. Well, not so much now that we take a look here at the final stats. In the first half, it was incredibly tilted towards the boys in goal, but Atlanta United 2 showing resistance there in the second half.
Well, they did, and Nashville changed how they played. You know, they slowed the tempo down. They kept the ball. They showed a lot of patience. They moved the ball laterally, as we spoke about throughout the second half. And Atlanta, they stayed with it, and they fought. And it wasn't ever their possession that was the issue. When they got the ball, they possessed it. It was their execution in the final third. Errant passes, balls that were open play crosses that didn't meet an attacking player, balls that were skied over the box, over the goal and not on frame were really the difficulties that they had.
So what does this victory mean for Nashville SC? Well, it means they are top of the table tonight. Remember, Pittsburgh and Birmingham are the only teams still to play a game in the USL Eastern Conference. Every single other team that you see, their regular seasons are completed. First of all, how about Louisville jumping up to the 4th spot? Jumping Tampa Bay and New York, two teams that are spiraling down the stretch. New York Red Bulls, too, conceded 7 goals against Loudoun United. And you look at the teams charging down the stretch, and honestly, Ronnie, you can only pick 2 that have really closed it out strong, and that's Nashville and Pittsburgh.
Without a doubt. And look at it. Look at the table right there. They are neck and neck throughout the season. But Indy and Lou City have been very good. I mean, just think about the game a week ago with Lou City and how it was box to box and end to end, and it was exciting tackle after a great save. And so I think that those top 4 teams, I know it's a big run with Nashville and Pittsburgh, but I think the top 4 teams are really battling it out.
Yeah, it's like if Nashville gets the #1 seed, if Pittsburgh falters tomorrow against Birmingham, it's like, well, then you get Louisville maybe in the second round. Pick your poison.
Exactly.
Well, that'll do it tonight for our crew. That'll do it for the regular season. High fives between the players and the supporters. There is still much more soccer to be played in this park. A guaranteed 90 more minutes of it next Saturday night. We do not know the opponent yet. Nashville will play a winner of a play-in game. So Nashville will watch Birmingham and Pittsburgh on Sunday to see who is the top seed in the USL Eastern Conference Championship. And then they will watch television again on Wednesday night to see just who they will play out of the 2 play-in matches. But we are guaranteed playoff soccer in Nashville. It is on the way next week. But first, Nashville took care of business tonight. Goals and dancing from Forrest Lasso, Daniel Rios twice, and then the clean sheet from Matt Pickens sends the fans home happy at First Tennessee Park. For Ronnie Woodard, I'm John Freeman saying so long from Middle Tennessee. We will talk to you from a historic night next week, the first home playoff match in Nashville SC history, coming to you your way on Saturday night.